cleared the scene out here. This is a residential part.
Right now, this is Encino, northbound 101.
It was tragic hearing Eric was missing.
Is joining us live near where the body was found. And Shelby, a lot of details to sort through.
I think it will give me the joy of pleasure to see how to get life out of a human.
Never judged Eric, even though he found a new hobby.
The search for Eric is still going.
The helicopter crashed for reasons that we're not certain of.
Torn open. His organs were spread everywhere.
I get a message, comes in anonymously.
It became apparent that Eric had opened himself up to a malevolent force.
I will feel it the most in magical things that are possible.
It was never my intention to get famous for something like this.
Fucking around with here, I don't want to touch it. But I think people need to know about it.
And confirms the officers were responding to a disturbance fight call.
And before I know it, I'm feeling a sharp pain in my side.
Like he was possessed or something, I don't know.
It took me a couple weeks to recover from watching those videotapes.
Hey everybody, my name is Stephen Parker. I'm a filmmaker, well, trying to be a filmmaker. This is my first film. I went to Full Sail University in Orlando and I studied a lot about documentaries. I really wanted to make one, but I didn't know what to make it about and have an idea. But I think I do now. I was, it's gonna sound weird, but I got kind of desperate for something really interesting to make a movie about. And one of my roommates told me that I should just go on the dark web. He said there's all kinds of fucked up stuff on there. He knows how to access it without, getting arrested, I guess. So he showed me how to get on there, and he was right. There's a lot of really fucked up stuff on there. And that's where I found this story. Guy, his name is Eric Howler. He disappeared a few months ago. Story caught my eye because it wasn't just a story. There was a bunch of footage out there circulating. Stuff he had recorded, either he uploaded it to the dark web or someone else found it and then they uploaded it. But it's on there and it's fucked up, guys. It is what's on there. I don't need to tell you. I can show you. Well, I think I can show you. I don't actually know what the legality is of using this footage. I don't have any permission. But I mean, he shared it online and he's missing. So I don't know that anyone will come after me about it. No. I'm going to blur out some of what's on these tapes. I feel like the story is important to share, but I don't know. There's some stuff on here I don't know if anyone should see. It's not just what happens to some of the people on there. It's like genuinely some of this just feels evil. What he's fucking around with here. I don't want to touch it. But I think people need to know about it. So what I'm putting in here is the footage that Eric shot, but also some interviews with the people that are involved. Some of them are friends, family members. Some of them are involved in the actual investigation. It is a tough watch, but I think it's important to share it. So here it is. I'm calling this the disturbing case of Eric Howler.
Hi, my name is Maria Elizabeth Howler. I'm 52 years old, and I'm the mother of Eric Howler. These past 6 months have been really difficult. Where do I begin? The beginning with Eric was great. Nothing horrible. We were a great mother-son team. He was pleasant and he got along well with kids in the neighborhood and at school and around other adults. He was extremely polite and shy. He was my little helper. We were, like I said, we were like a team, buddies. He listened to me if I had asked him to help me or to do something. The first time he would do it, I wouldn't have to ask him twice, and he would do it with a smile on his face. That was my Eric. Things were all right. From the ages 8 to 12, not that bad. Manageable. When he was 9, we did bring him for some testing, as advised, and it came back. His diagnosis was level 2 autism, and really it wasn't any major disruption to our lives. It wasn't as problematic as it might seem to other people.
Hi, my name is Andy Foster, and I am 23 years old. Today, I want to talk about my best friend, Eric, who went missing a couple months ago. Now, the greatest people out there, the people that you cherish, the people that you love, the most nicest people that could be hiding the most darkest secret that you're probably unaware of right now. I can't really get my mind around this. Anyways, let's get to it. A couple months ago, as I said, Eric went missing. Now, this small town, we don't really get that much new people around here. Had to be the biggest search we ever had. Even the crackheads from Duck City were out there searching for him.
For 3 weeks now, Travis Decker has evaded capture despite an intense search going on in Chelan and Kittitas County.
Led to some additional questions.
Beyond the initial crime scene at the Rock Island campground, authorities say they have found other items that could be Decker.
Are heading out to look for a missing man in Hunt County, east of Dallas.
Dan is live in Quinlan, east of Dallas, about 40 miles away, with the latest.
And Tim, we are seeing a steady increase in the number of searchers who are arriving at this location. All of them are search and rescue professionals.
Three months ago, he was gone. He left. I don't know where he went. I hadn't seen him anymore. It was really upsetting.
Eric was a great friend of mine, and I still consider him my best friend. I heard his dad passed away, so my condolences.
About 3 weeks in from that is when Andy started coming around. And that was a really big help to me. I was already suffering and dealing with the loss of my husband, who died. Then Eric was gone, and it was like losing 2 family members at once.
To put it this way, and you can blur this out if you want, but Eric's mother was suicidal, and I had to do my best to look out for her and make sure that I was on her side. We were best friends. Eric and I, we went to the same scouting club. We were friends since 3rd grade. To have someone you know for that long, somehow just watching them sink into a dark abyss, I can't handle that.
We are in a safe world. People think we are in a safe world, but I don't see it. For the past months, years, I just realized we are not in a safe world. And it's nothing to do with me or anything, right? It's just that the whole economy is fucked up. I tried to live in this safety world. People are guessing it's good, but it isn't. It just isn't. This is my decision for me to make, that if I pass this world, if I succeed the program, and it could work for me, then I am saved. I'm saved with everything. I know I can do this with my own. I worked with everything. I am gonna work this out to see if it works. People don't know me. People don't know me really good at all. But I can fix this problem.
My name is Cecilia Anderson. I'm 32 years old, and I've been a medium and paranormal researcher for nearly 18 years now. Over the course of my career, I have encountered countless cases of individuals who were dabbling in the dark arts, and unfortunately, they often bring about disastrous consequences. So when I first learned about Eric, it was clear he was becoming dangerously entangled in a world of dark passions and unnatural satanic rituals. What truly alarmed me was the potential harm he could inflict on this world with his newfound obsession. I've seen before the devastating effects that such recklessness can have on innocent lives. I had a case that was very similar about a girl named Sarah who got entangled in a mystery involving the dark arts, and tragically her life was cut short, which was devastating to her friends and family. So when one of the detectives involved in the case asked me to look into this and to look at the footage, I did not get a good feeling about it. And unfortunately, I was right. So upon viewing the initial footage of Eric, I observed his interest in the paranormal world had begun with an enigmatic book that he acquired. He documented his experiences through writing and drawing.
Eric and I have quite a history in this town. For the trouble that we caused, I'm sure a lot of people are going to remember us for that, but teenagers do what teenagers do. We were teenagers at the time. Now, a lot of people are going to look at me weird for this when I say that I never judged Eric, even though he found a new hobby that was a little concerning to me, that he just wasn't open enough about it. He always jumped the gun about, hey, I gotta go. Hey, there's something coming up. I gotta do this and that. But he was never like that. He was always more in depth. You know, hey, this is happening. He would tell me what was going on.
I fucking can't, okay? I have been in trouble with this project, okay? It's just a hobby, okay? It's just a fucking hobby. If you shut the fuck up, man. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna work this out with my hobby. And you just let me be what I'm gonna do. And do your job, and then it's all gonna be fine. Fucking hell, man.
The next 3 to 4 weeks, he never spoke to me. I'd always try reaching out to him, but I heard nothing back. Late October, he calls me one night, saying he was up to something shocking. Now, took it as a joke, you know. Next day, we went fishing at the lake of Ring East Woods. And at one point, he pulls out a book out of his backpack. Couldn't really get the title of what it was, but it looked quite strange to me. And I just asked him, hey, what are you reading? Snaps at me, just lost his fucking shit. Stuffs the book back in his backpack and just left me. So I'm sitting there thinking, what the actual fuck is going on? Not only is he short, doesn't want to talk to me, but then one day he reaches out to me and then acts like that. It's not like Eric. What was in that book? That's my question. You know, I can't really go into details what I saw because it was the opposite side of me, so I couldn't really make out the details, but it was quite a very disturbing.
My name is Casey Brooklyn. I'm a 55-year-old from Georgia, originally from Australia. I'm a writer and a reporter in New York City. I recently actively covering the disappearance of Eric Howler. It had been all over the news globally, really, for months. A teenager had got themselves into really serious trouble, eventually just disappeared altogether. The whole city, or the whole world, was desperate to know what happened to them. I started off by researching a police case and quickly discovered that Eric Howler had been hiding some really shocking secrets. In the last week of April, Eric Howler had been behaving at school in an aggressive and violent way. And he was sent to the principal's office and got expelled.
So, I got expelled by this fucking piece of shit of a teacher. And my anger is starting to build up in pieces. I gotta react at some point. Just gotta believe there will be one time I can do. Just gotta be sure. It's gotta be safe. My plan's gotta work out. It's not my fault that I got expelled. Sometimes I got some anger issues I can solve without founding this new hobby of mine. I can simply fulfill this project to do some of my anger problems. But it's now starting to get really, really hard.
My name is Frederick Geisen. I'm 38 years old. I was the chemistry teacher for Eric. When he disappeared, I saw it on the news. It was crazy. The whole school was looking for him. Children, teachers, faculty. Some of the kids even started to speculate that he did it on purpose. He was doing some satanic rituals in the forest near the highway. Eric was a weird boy, especially when his dad died. You know, after that he got really creepy, violent. He started fighting with other children. He threw stuff in the hallway. So, 1 week before he disappeared, I asked him to come visit me in my classroom. He stood there right in front of me. And I asked him, "Are you feeling okay? Do you need help?" But he didn't say anything. I said to him, "You are acting up, you are fighting, you are throwing tantrums." But he kept staring at me with his big black eyes. I was getting scared. So I had to expel him. He needed to rest, at least for a week, to get his mind in order. But he didn't do it well. He started getting violent against me. He took out a knife out of his pockets and he tried to stab me multiple times. So I told him to get out.
They will all see what I can do soon. See my heart that I need to shape this world something more than just one piece. I will create the most magical things that are possible. It's not my fault. I took the blame, my friends, or anything. But there are no other options for me, and I will sit down. My possible intercourse is now that I leave, and I will see what comes further. It's already started.
And Andy was a really great help. He would make sure I was okay, make sure I was eating. He would talk to me about different things, and I really appreciated it because when things were better, he would come over and he would play video games with Eric, and they would have a really good time. So I was fine with that. It was fine. They were getting along great and everything. And then one day, Andy came over and he had asked if he could go into Eric's room because he thought he had left his headset there. I guess they're playing with video games. And of course I said, sure, no problem. I didn't realize how much time had passed. I'm not sure. I was doing other things. And then I realized some time had passed. I noticed that he hadn't come back, but I remembered hearing him leave Eric's room, and I heard the door going outside shut or open, but then I realized I didn't hear it reopen, and I checked thinking he probably went out for a moment, but that was it. I didn't hear anything back from Andy. I texted him, I called him, I left him messages. I didn't hear anything back. It was really odd. I didn't know what had happened. And then the police contacted me. They said that Andy had brought them a box of videotapes from Eric, and that they were pretty disturbing.
My name is Sarah Wheeler. I'm a detective at the Unit Corps of Beston. I was working on the Eric Howler case from the 4th of June till the 10th of September. Yes. Eric became violent in the last week before his disappearance, more violent. I visited his mother at his home, and she said that they were fighting almost every week. His mum told me he was becoming more violent every day, every week, and he was throwing stuff around the house, and it was a sad situation, really. And then after that week, after the visit, one of his friends came by with a box of DVDs. And I started the investigation by watching the DVDs, what was on it. And we were really shocked to see that all the images appeared to be real. The videos contained images of terrible murders, of very cruel murders of dogs and cats and humans as well. There were videos of satanic rituals Eric played out in the woods. We saw a lot of blood. I have never seen so much blood in one of my cases before. Yes, well, Eric's gone now. The investigation is still going on, and the search for Eric is still going. The only thing I know is that Eric is becoming a cruel, horrific murderer who seems to be unstoppable. He is a danger to our nation and probably worldwide as we speak. He needs to be found. He's still gone. We don't know where he is, and the search for Eric is still going on to this very month, to this very moment, really. Yes.
Has evaded capture despite an intense search going on in Chelan and Kittitas counties.
We're still assisting Kittitas County Sheriff's Office as they're conducting their search on the northern end of their county that butts up the southern end around Blewett Pass 97. And then we continue to also allocate our resources from swiftwater rescue, looking at the Icicle River.
Authorities still not ruling out the suspicious man hikers saw in the enchantments.
At this location, all of them are search and rescue professionals from a number of different fire departments and other agencies in this general area, and all of them are donating their time to this effort. It is supposed to get underway now. We are told close to 9 o'clock this morning. Now, they will be looking for any sign of...
I just want to come back in here for just a minute because I think I need to address something. A lot of people have weighed in on this, which I really appreciate, all the interviews. But I'm also getting a lot of messages from people who think that I am just making all of this shit up. I am not interested in giving people attention for getting pissed off at me on the internet. Okay, so I couldn't give a shit about what you think. But the reason that I'm addressing this is because this isn't made up. These people are telling the truth. You heard them. I've read the police reports, the few news stories that have covered anything about these disappearances. I'm having trouble getting to sleep. When I close my eyes, I keep seeing this shit, man. It's like nightmares before I even go to sleep. And it's not just that. I mean, I'm making this movie. I'm putting this out in the world. I might be putting a target on myself. I have no idea who doesn't want this information out in the world. I could be in danger for doing this. But I keep telling myself that I just have to do the right thing here. When Eric's friend Andy found the tapes, he could have just left them alone. He didn't have to take them to the cops or answer any questions, but he did. He was doing the right thing. He's the reason that the FBI knows about this, why Eric is now on the wanted fugitives list, which is good. They need to find him, but he could be anywhere. He could be outside Andy's house right now. He could be outside my house. Well, what am I going to do? Just know about this and not say anything? So if you're one of the few people who wrote me to tell me I'm full of shit, I wish I was, man. I desperately wish this was all bullshit, but it's not. That's all I want.
My name is John Greaves. I'm 52. I worked on this case for 4 months. Nearly killed me. I'll never be the same. It was front page news. The whole world was talking about it. After the first emergency call, I was the first detective on the scene, and I saw the victim sprawled in the grass behind some trees. I'll never forget what I saw laying in front of me. I wish I could remove that image from my head forever. I knew immediately how serious this was. The victim was a young boy. He was all mutilated, torn open. His organs were spread everywhere. It was the most twisted thing of all. His face was completely gone. It's just a bloody mess where it should be. It seemed to have been cut off, like totally removed, nowhere to be seen.
So after a couple weeks taking care of Eric's mom, I went to go search for my video game headset, and I recall using it at Eric's, months before all this happened. So I drove up to Eric's house and searched his room and saw it laying under his bed. And then I saw at the corner was a box of tapes. So made the irrational decision to take them home, and I opened the box and put the first tape in. First few minutes was Eric digging around with the camera. And just like typical home videos. But I felt that something wasn't right. As soon as I saw those tapes, I knew something. Anyways, sorry, I'm stalling. I should just keep going. So, he was explaining about a book he was obsessed with, about satanic rituals. There were chapters in the book, quote unquote, how to enter the dark world.
This book is amazing. I fully open myself to see what's on the inside of this book and how to learn about it. How to open myself up from the dark world. There's so much beautiful things inside of us you could ever wanted to really enter, and that's hard me. This book tells you to enter it. And I know it's hard to understand what's the possibilities of the danger it might be. But I have chosen to be one, and it will be completed soon. There are 3 chapters in this book to understand. You enter the gate to hell, and then you open yourself up to take every place you want, where you safely, where your safe space will be. The second chapter will you be the sacrifice for someone else, with basically means you have to kill someone to prove you belong to. I am now in the second stage, the second chapter, and it might be one of the most darkest things I will ever be doing. This book, it's satisfying. It's an obsession what belongs to my life, and it's so hard to explain, but it belonged to me. It's all about me.
Hello, my name is Ian Ranger, and for months I've been living in fear of what may happen to me if I share this information with anyone. But due to recent events in the news and in the honor of justice for the victims, I feel like I need to share my story with you. I didn't think anything of the situation. It's Walmart. We get weird people all the time. I just moved about my day, didn't bother me at all. Back in October of 2024, I was working my usual 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. shift. It was a normal day just like any other day. Until this strange man walked up to me and asked me if we had sharp knives specifically for cutting meat. So I pointed him in the direction of our kitchen utensils, and within a couple more minutes, he comes to my register, checks out, pays with cash, and doesn't say a word. The very next day was like nothing I've ever experienced before in my life. It was so strange, it's hard to put into words, but I'll try. So instead of my usual 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., they scheduled me 2 p.m. to 11 p.m., the closing shift, and I was at the service desk. So that means I was dealing with customer returns, I was dealing with angry customers, and for the most part, it was a normal night. It was chill. Right about 10 o'clock, I'm thinking to myself what I'm gonna do after work, go have some drinks with the boys, have a good night. And I was off the weekend. It was supposed to be a good night. And then about 10:30 hits, and this same strange man from the day before shows up, demanding that he gets to return the knives that he bought yesterday. I'm like, sir, do you have your receipt? He says, of course I do, with a smile on his face. He hands me the receipt. I think nothing of it. I take the box, open it up, and to my surprise, there's a couple specks of blood on the cardboard that these knives are in. And I don't know what to do. Do I call a manager and make this a bigger deal than it needs to be? Is this a bigger deal than I think it is? But I just want to go home. I just want to be done. So I think nothing of it. Take the money out the register, hand him back the money, tell him have a good rest of his night. He says no more words and just walks away very slowly. Strange situation, but knowing what I know now, I wish I would have said something. So as weird as that situation was, I kind of just ignored it. I went out, I hung out with the boys, had some drinks. I had a good weekend. I can't remember what exactly we did, but I don't remember the last time I've had a good weekend like that. I honestly, I don't remember the last time I was that happy since all of this went down. But it was a good time. Flash forward to that Monday following that weekend, and I'm in the back dealing with bales of cardboard. And I feel this rush of power going against me. And before I know it, I'm just shoved against a brick wall. And this man just attacks me. I didn't do anything. But when I looked in his eyes and I knew it was him. It was the same guy from before with the knives. And it's like in that moment, you're thinking to yourself, I didn't do anything to you. Why are you attacking me? And before I know it, I'm feeling a sharp pain in my side. And I realize that this man, he's stabbing me. And what do? I'm screaming for help. Nobody's coming. I'm in the back. There's nobody around. And next thing I know, he's gone. And I'm sitting there holding myself, putting pressure on the wound to stop the bleeding. And finally somebody comes, and I don't even know if anybody ever looked at the video footage. I don't know what happened, but nothing's happened about that situation since then. And I didn't feel safe at work anymore. I quit my job. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm getting attacked at work and nobody is protecting me. I go to the hospital, I get stitches, you know, I'm patched up, but physically I'm healed, you know, I'm fixed, but up here, I can't get that day out of my head. A few days after that, you know, I got friends and family calling me, hey man, are you okay? Do you need money? Because they know I quit my job. They know I have nothing besides that job going on. But I'm just so defeated. Like, why me, you know? And next thing I know, I hear at the door. I'm not expecting company. So I get up, go look, there's nobody at the door. I look down, there's nothing at the doorstep. But you know, it's a Thursday, so I check the mail, and there's no mail, but there is a package with a videotape inside of it. And there's no address, there's no return address, there's nothing. It's just an envelope with a videotape in it. Only thing I could think to do is watch it. And I couldn't believe what I saw. So I press play. And it's the same dude. It's the same man. But this time he's not alone. There's like an 8-year-old boy with him. And he's walking with a knife with this boy, and they're holding hands like this. And they're singing this slow song. I can't even remember the words. But it's like, just the melody is stuck in my head forever. Because before I know it, the camera cuts, and it's the 8-year-old boy, and he's tied up, and this man's yelling Latin, and he stabs this little boy into the chest and down his stomach, and there's blood, and there's organs. Hold on. There's just blood everywhere. And the screams. I can still hear the boy screaming for help. And all this dude was doing was speaking Latin with a smile on his face. And I can't stop hearing it. The very next day, I took that videotape down to the police station. And you think I ever got a call, an update from a detective? Anybody? No. But then you go on the news and you see all these people missing, these murder cases that can't be solved, and I can't help but think that guy, it's got to be the same guy. That's the only thing that makes sense. And I don't know what's going to happen to me after I share this with anybody. I don't care what happens to me. What I want is for somebody, anybody, to find that little boy and bring him home to his family. Because I know if it was my kid, I'd want justice. And that's why I'm sharing this with you.
My name is Paul Johnson. I'm 25 years old and I was Eric's best friend since 3rd grade. I was always joking around with Eric. We fucked with people's cars, throwing rocks at windows, smoking pot, you know, the basic teen stuff. At one point when we were 17, Eric was coming over to me at my house, gaming the whole night, just like one fucking marathon. It was awesome. I fell asleep and Eric was still awake, and suddenly I felt some like weird scratching at my back. So I turned around slowly and saw that Eric was scratching my back with a pencil. I was like bleeding to hell. It was absolutely crazy. Eric ran away. I was freaked out, so I looked in the mirror and I saw that he'd scratched this big fucking pentagram on my back. It was really, really weird. So I told Eric, I said, why the fuck are you doing that, man? What are you doing? And he just didn't answer me. Just weeks went by and we just never spoke again. It's just really crazy. 2 weeks before his disappearance, Eric came to me and he said he had something planned, and he asked me if I wanted to join him. And I said, okay, well what's the plan then, you know? He was sort of skeptic about it, but he told me he wanted to burn the streets in town and kill the ones who deserve it. And he wanted to, like, own the place. It was fucking weird, really strange. I didn't really know how to take it, whether he was serious or not. I was kind of freaked out, and I sort of said to Eric, you know, are you fucking kidding me, you know? And he said, look, if you don't want to join, then that's absolutely fine, but you will find out soon. And I was like, okay. So then a week after his disappearance, Andy told me he'd found a box of videotapes underneath his bed. And we watched everything, and we were scared and freaked out for weeks. He told me he never saw anything as gory as that ever in his life. Blood was everywhere, there was organs and trees, and a body with satanic paintings all over it. It was horrific as fuck. I never really knew Eric was like that. Kind of shocked the whole nation. It was everywhere on the news. The search is still going on for Eric, and I hope that he's okay. But yeah, just, it's insane. Just some of the stuff we saw. It was like serious, weird, like Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. And it just goes to show you never really know a guy, and you know, really, do you? Do you really know what someone's thinking? Do you really know what's going on in their head? You know, and asking me to sort of join him as well, it was kind of like, I could see he just had that look in his eyes, and as I said, I didn't know if he was serious or not, but it was vacant. There was something there. You know, when you can look into someone's eyes and sometimes, like, you can sort of see the soul or see into the soul, and you kind of like, there's a trust there, there's a real connection with eye contact. But yeah, he was just like vacant, just a complete vacant sort of expression, like he was possessed or something. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that this, you know, doesn't sort of land me in any trouble, and also I'm hoping that, you know, he's going through some bad stuff, you know. The pentagram, I don't know, I knew he kind of was into like the sort of gothic-y sort of stuff, but I didn't know how deep he was into it and how serious he took it all, really. I mean, like, I've had tattoos before, but Jesus, that was so unexpected and so weird that he was doing that. I guess if I've got any message for Eric, it's just like, dude, please just think about your family and think about, you know, your friends, and think about yourself. Come back, and I hope everything's okay.
Hey, he and the hey and the he, hey, ba 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 that, he hi ho, he hi ho. So we are going to a last cabin. We're going to play with. We're gonna play it all the way down in the cabin. Hope it's getting a little bit fun out there. So now we're gonna play. As it is, it can be fun. So I think we should start playing Be Nice or Be Bad. I think who's been bad enough this time. It's time to intercept the circle. Time to be part of something more sinister than you think. It's already done. It's already done what I've done. But now, I've got to be part of something big. Let us bond together. As it is for now. I just want to say that you are the perfect sacrifice for what you have done to me. And I always will remember what you did. I say let's go to the offer of him, to the holy devil was giving me. I am already part of something evil.
Couldn't really make anything out, it was too staticky. But Eric was still speaking in that bizarre language. Then I noticed he was walking with a kid that I've never seen in this town before. After a while, I don't think I was supposed to watch these videos. I wasn't. But I needed to know what happened to that kid. Looks like Eric was holding that book again. Eric murdered that kid in a way that I could not describe. I can't even face the camera and look you guys directly in the eyes without wanting to have another psychotic meltdown. I mean, that's my friend. Like I said, it's impossible to watch your own loved ones go on such a dark path. Where's Eric now? He's still out there.
I've never felt so much nausea so quickly before. There was a couple of videotapes at the scene. I wish I hadn't watched them. After seeing those tapes, I was changed forever. A couple of weeks later, an individual named Andy, young fella, young guy, came to the station with a box of videotapes that he'd found under Eric's bed. He'd already watched them, I could tell. Like, it was all over his face. You could see, the footage on the tapes was just, it was intense. They were sent to the evidence room, and a couple of low-level investigators viewed them. They never returned to work. They resigned immediately. I don't blame them personally, but I was really curious to see what was on the tapes, so I pulled a few strings and around the department, unfortunately I viewed them myself. Their resignation made total sense to me now. It was horrific. It was horrible. It was just, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Truly disturbing. My stomach churned. I vomited again. I couldn't get the footage out of my head. It was blatantly. It was a box full of snuff films. It was snuff films. The stuff of fantasy. It was. It took months to eventually identify a potential person of interest. That being said, we still couldn't figure out who or where this man was.
What are you reporting? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ma'am? Can you hear me?
This already happened.
Hello?
It's okay, it already happened.
Oh my goodness, ma'am?
Torso torn open and empty. His skull was open like it was done with a nutcracker. His brains were out of his skull. His arms were torn and there was no skin left on him. Only exposed flesh and blood everywhere. I actually can't talk about this anymore. To this day I'm really suffering with the trauma. Anyway, apparently there's videotapes out there. They were given to the police by some school kid. I think his name was Andy. He had been the first person to view these tapes. I'm not sure how. But the kid was a mess. He was a mess. I would hate to see them. Nobody knows where Eric is. They continue to search, even to this day, until now. He could be anywhere. He could be dead. If he's alive, I'm sure he's got a lot to explain if he's found. What the earth is going on?
Its final conclusion that I killed it. I killed it. I felt so alive at that moment of joy, pleasure. It was really crazy, right? I felt so good. I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop. But I have to explain. This book that I have tells me everything, what I need to do. I think I'm gonna be a good kid. And nobody really knows where I am. Only me. And when I finally enter the dark world, I'll be gone. Nobody can save me anymore because I'm gone. Nobody can save me. They will be better off with me. They all. So I get on my own way to say a final goodbye. Start off my own chapter in life. And enter this dark world. It's a true passion that I've been spoken to. And there are some main characters I can talk about right now. I think it will give me the joy of pleasure to see how to get life out of a human. How it's possible to see the light go out of your life. It's fascinating. It's truly fascinating, I can tell you. It makes me so happy that I can end a life just with my own hands. So that's it. I opened myself. I did it for you. You have to let me in. I didn't deserve this punishment. I owned you. And now I am what I am. I have to enter this world with you. Otherwise I can live. I killed the boy.
I did a sacrifice. Please. Astrabioso cantio tarimato. Gusti, Disco. Fadi posti. You have to let me in. I did it for you. And I opened this world. I will open this world. And I will enter it. Because I have to. I have to. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in.
It took me a couple weeks to recover from those videotapes. So, one night, I get home from work, make myself some dinner, smoke a joint, head to bed like the usual routine, and I had some weird, unbelievable dreams that Eric was standing over my bed, just watching me. Then I woke up, and it was 3:32 in the morning, and that's when I heard it. I heard a loud scream, and then a bang at my door, and then a rock comes jetting right through my fucking window, right over my head. So I ran outside and no one was there. I mean, it's a small street, so I mean, anybody that intrudes, I mean, you could literally see them run down that street, you know, unless they went in the tree line, which obviously I wasn't gonna check the wilderness, of course, but maybe I just didn't catch them on time. But that scream definitely sounded familiar. Anyways, 2 weeks later, things get even stranger. So, another nightly routine. I go back to bed and I get the same dream that I had last time. This time Eric was choking me. And I felt this stabbing pain in my heart. And I was able to look down briefly to see a butcher knife placed inside my chest. Eric wasn't actually choking me in the dream. What I was choking on was my own blood. And I saw the kid in the corner that Eric murdered in those videotapes. His corpse sitting in the corner of my bedroom, motionlessly watching me before everything faded. And then I jump out of bed sweating, and all of a sudden it's 3:32 again. That's when I knew something was up. And then I heard it, the loud knocking at my door, and I jumped away from my bedroom window. I had that sharp feeling that it was all gonna start all over again. This time, the knocking at the door just continued, and then my door started cracking. Nobody was there. That's not all, though. I ended up going back into my bedroom. I get my gun out of my glove box, and all of a sudden, there's a package right at the end of my bed. From Eric. was written on the package. So my impulses got the best of me, and I ended up plugging in the videotape. The video started out with, well, I couldn't really make it out because it was so dark, but he seemed to be standing in the forest. Once he got into the moonlight, I recognized the place. It's the forest right next to my house. Eric ends up at this weird trailer park, something I couldn't really recognize, and he walks in the trailer successfully. I knew it wasn't his house, first of all. I don't know how he got in so simply.
I've never been feeling so good in my whole life. It looks like I finally entered the last stage to enter this hell. And we are almost there. So it's feeling a little rough. It's not just that I did something bad, but it's just that I'm feeling so good for what I did. This thing is amazing. It's amazing what you feel after ending someone. And now we're gonna feel the same thing again. So that's an easy lock, I can say. Oh, this feels fucking good. Oh shit. This is looking great. Welcome to my show. Oh.
Yeah.
The world doesn't understand what I can do.
The next thing, it cuts to a lady sleeping in her bed. And that's... Just cut to the chase. He just kills her. The same way he killed me in my dream. I didn't watch. I knew it. And I looked away, and then I heard the blood gushing, I heard the screaming, I heard all of it, and then I shut off the tape, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I knew right then and there that I knew, Eric, if you're out there right now, I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. I have nothing but trauma and a hatred deep below in my heart for this guy right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on in his mind, but I'm not gonna tolerate this shit. You're taking innocent lives. Am I next? I guess there's one way to find out, right?
There was no possible anything you can do to help me, because it's already started. And now it's come to a conclusion that I can't escape it anymore. So I'm gonna grab my stuff and enter the dark side, because this has to be. It has to be. Everybody believes in me, right? If you've seen this video tape of mine, you will see who I am and what I can do. Nobody will ever hound me. I will hound you. So this is gonna be the final stage of pure terror. After seeing this, you should all be warned for the possibilities I can do.
So now you know. And I'm sorry. Genuinely, I'm sorry that you have to know this. I didn't want to. But you need to know. You need to know what he looks like, what he does, so you know to avoid him, to call the cops, to get away if he comes at you. Because nobody knows where he is or what he's doing.
Out of the ordinary, nothing any different than any other boy growing up. Because I understood how to speak with him and what to expect for the most part, even when he was a little unpredictable.
And all this dude was doing was speaking Latin with a smile on his face.
I don't know what else there is to say. I hope when I put this out that it doesn't get banned. If you see this on my channel, then it means they let me release it. But if you see it somewhere else, then it means they blocked me and I had to find some other way to get it out into the world.
California's Newport Bay. The Huntington Beach Police Department confirms the officers were responding to a disturbance fight call when the chopper went down Saturday evening.
He is a danger to our nation and probably worldwide as we speak.
The case is still open. Eric is still missing.
I am hopeful that we can find Eric soon and bring him back from the darkness.
Think about yourself. Come back, and I hope everything's okay.
That everyone who agreed to be in this movie is still alive, that Eric hasn't come back at me. Shit, I hope I'm still here. Maybe when you watch this, go look me up. See if you can find my channel, any new content, or if you find an obituary. If you're watching this, especially if you share it publicly, just be careful, okay? Stay safe.
He was incredibly dangerous, and the whole nation needed to be on alert.
As I say goodbye. Goodbye. Such a weird thing to say when it's all starting.
Babe, is that you? Babe?